Hey everybody out there in YouTube land, and welcome to another Dark Avengers comic book review. Before we get into the comic books this week, I'd like to give a little bit of news that's been going around. First and foremost, the Batman movie. Anne Hathaway has been casted, as far as CBR.com is saying, as Catwoman. There has been a casting for Bane. I just cannot remember the star's name for the life of me at the moment, which is bad. Yeah, we're still not caring about the Spider-Man movie.
Yeah,
and the Reign of Doomsday looks like it's going to be really good in April. That's the DC Comics is really producing a lot of really awesome stuff as far as comic book events. And Kev didn't even know until today about Batman: The Dark Knight Rises.
No, he was just mentioning about the actors and all that.
I think it looks promising.
It's going to be good. Okay, so before,
I didn't even know about it, so.
You're out of the loop completely, aren't you?
Batman movies.
By the way, guys, you guys know my panel, Kevin, Joe, Amber.
Hey.
Amber has another few comics she'd like to show off, and a few that she's going to review. And you guys know my cameraman, Mike.
Hello.
And before we get into the comic books this week, which were released on January 19th, 2011, I'd like to first talk about a few other comics. First off, two Radical picks. Two of my favorites, actually, from Radical. First one is going to be, I'm going to go with the three-part series, Time Bomb. 1. Tell me when you're done. 2. And 3. And if you guys didn't notice by the first cover, yes, it involves Nazis. It involves people from the, it's in the near future, and basically they find a hidden Nazi hideout under Berlin. And there's a bomb there, and they try to deactivate it, they don't deactivate it, and basically the world is, I want to find a very nice picture that'll
Time Bomb.
Yeah, that's what the whole point is. The world is screwed. Basically everybody's dead, and there's only like
everybody died.
Not everyone. A nice, good amount of people. Well, I'll show you the bomb. That's the bomb.
Nice picture.
Bomb goes off. So then it's up to a team of 4 people. One here. The team's actually on the cover. These 2 just got divorced, and here are the other 2. And these 4 have to go back in time. Yes, it involves time travel, but it's okay. Stick with me. This is good type of time travel. So they have to go back in time and prevent the bomb from being made. Now the time machine in part 1 that they go in, the person who invented it actually tried it out and never came back. Stick with me on this. I'm not going to spoil too much of it while at the same time telling a little bit of the story. So then they end up going back in time to, it's around World War II. So now they have to find out about the bomb, and they have to find a way to stop it. And that's what happens within these 2 parts. Basically, in the end, it turns out somebody from the future traveled back into the past, and that's how the bomb was created. So they stop him, they go back in time. One of the teammates, I'm not going to say who, you got to buy the series. Absolutely, I recommend this highly. One of the teammates does not make it back. And they bring a special, I'll show Joe, they bring a special friend back. Actually, I'll say that. When they go back into the future, they do bring one person back with them. And yeah, it's a shocker. They bring,
Wait, you can't really see this.
I'm not showing you yet, hold on. They bring him back.
Bring who back? Ooh.
Somehow, from traveling back in time, they bring Hitler back with them to the future.
Whoa.
And they put him in a cell.
Wow, they have enough to bring.
I get
That was awesome.
Well, Germany Nazis kind of ties in.
That was good. This series was amazing. I would absolutely recommend all 3 books. All 3 books are out. They're inexpensive. And you know something? I gotta admit something. There are, you guys know from these books that there every like 4 or 5 pages is an advertisement. There are no advertisements in any of the pages. It is a double-sized comic book with 0 advertisements until you get to the last like 2 or 3 pages. I believe it's like 2 pages of advertisement. 1, 2, 3, okay, 4 pages. The rest is all comic book. Absolutely amazing. The artwork, as I've said with with Radical, is boomingly awesome. It's amazing. And oh, there's actually a disclaimer right here. It's for mature readers. Just noticed that now.
That's good. They put the disclaimer.
They have a disclaimer that's for mature readers. Absolutely check out Time Bomb. I don't know if Radical's going to make a book of this, or they're just going to leave it as the 3 books. Time Bomb is absolutely amazing. Check it out. Now onto a hardcover book. It was 1 shot, not parts, just 1 nice hardcover. Legends: The Enchanted. This book was written illustrated, drawn, colored, everything by Nick Percival. He did everything except publish this, of course, because Radical published it. And this is a twisted, let's put it this way. It takes the fairy tales you grew up with, Goldilocks, Red Riding Hood, and company, and this is a sick, twisted retelling of the entire Never Neverland, as they say. The artwork is awesome. Yeah, I'll give you. I'm not going to show you the story because it's really good. But basically, here you got Red Riding Hood. That's Red Hood. They're calling her. Basically, the main stars are Red Hood and Jack from Jack and the Beanstalk. Jack is basically a giant killer. Hansel and Gretel, which you're gonna have to look on this page for Gretel. It's a sick, twisted tale. It's so twisted. Yeah, Goldilocks and Baby Bear and Bear.
Well, they included all everyone.
They put everyone in. Rapunzel. The artwork.
What's that?
That's the bear. That's the opposite. Look at the artwork here, guys. You can't top the great artwork that's in this book. Nick Percival is awesome. The story is really captivating. Somebody wants to kill all the Enchanted, and it's up to them to find out who and to stop them. And of course they do. And this is just a very, I don't want to give away too much, but this book, another book, I would definitely highly recommend for you guys. It's a hardcover. It's inexpensive. You know, Radical is really good at their pricing, and they continue to deliver. Out of all the books I've read thus far from Radical, only really one book I really am not interested in. Like 2 books, I'm not really, the stories haven't captured me. I don't like them, but that's it. The rest of their stuff is really, really good. Every time I open up a new book from Radical, I'm even more pleasantly surprised than the next. Here, let's see. What?
Can I read that one as well?
Yes, 1 second. I just want to give some artwork. I don't want to. I'm once again with the way YouTube is. I don't want to show anything that's too much out of the way without. I don't want the video being flagged or anything. So I'm going to try to find some nice artwork that I can show you. Here we go. The city of Crooked Spear. Look at that. Look at the city. Look at the beautiful artwork. Nick Percival is amazing. If I could find this book autographed by him, I would absolutely, absolutely take it. And also, this is, as you can tell, hardcovers always come with the slipcover. I just want to show you guys what it looks like without the slipcover. Look at that.
It's nice.
Amazing. Wait, show you the back. This book,
Blood on that.
this, I would absolutely recommend both of these stories to you. Actually, one person mentioned to me on last week's review to check out Time Bomb and The Last Days of American Crime. The Last Days of American Crime are coming soon, so stick around for future reviews. I will be reviewing that book. But I already had read this when I got that comment. I agree, this book was completely something I would absolutely love. This was great. 5 out of 5. Artwork, story. Check the 3 parts out, guys. As far as this, if you like a twisted, gory and just crazy retelling of Never Neverland, and you're an adult, remember that part, I would absolutely say check this out. Once again, 5 out of 5. Nick Percival has done everything with this book except publish it, and it was amazing. I'll tell you one thing though, I'm sick. I'll tell you, you think that you've seen Sick and Twisted until you read this is Sick and Twisted, and you guys know me from my comics. You know I'm not really into Sick and Twisted, but this was a good type of Sick and Twisted. It was awesome, absolutely, 5 out of 5. And with that, I'm done with Radical this week. Radical Comics never cease to amaze me with their awesome books. Once again, Legends and Time Bomb, check both out. Okay, and before we get into the comics this week, we're going to get to you in the middle, I'd like to mention some things that Amber picked up for me. Ever since Spawn 200, I mentioned that I wanted to get caught up. I wanted to get the complete 199 issues behind, or get the trade paperbacks. We have a comic store that's up the block. Not a comic store, what would you say, a card store?
No, it's
Mostly,
a comic store.
It's a comic store?
It's a mix.
Comic and cards. They don't get new comics. It's mostly old comics. So she went there and they were selling these, how much, $1 each, practically. So she got me a few Spawn. I got Spawn 7, Spawn 10,
The only ones they had.
29, 30, 35, 38, 39, 45, 66, 81 and 89.
It's a start.
Wow,
It's
I
a
really
start.
gotta look at those covers
I've
again.
read through all of them and they're awesome. I just want to show one thing that I thought was hilarious. I think it's in this one. If it's not, then it's in the next part. It's in the next part, I believe. Yeah, it's in the next part. It's in this one. Where they had yeah. Talk about, this is Image Comics, by the way. Talk about, look at those hands and tell me if you don't notice a Spider-Man or a Venom. And then not only that, but then not even a few pages later, Superman! I don't know how that happened, but yeah, no joke.
Yeah.
Superman. He's in.
You were kind of
No, that's Spawn. Spawn.
That's funny.
I
Yeah.
thought that was just the coup de grace for me. That was awesome. So there's my little Spawn update for you guys. So 11 down, only 188 to go. Now we're gonna get into this week's comics. I'm gonna do Marvel, then I'm gonna turn it over to Amber, and then I'm gonna go back to. Then we're gonna conclude with DC.
Okay, so I'll just tie these in later.
Yes.
Won't even.
Okay, now. First off, for those of you who are interested, Darkwing Duck number 8 came out. I'm loving the series. Nostalgic moments galore. Sorry, Mike, forgot you do that. And yeah, I'm not going to really say too much because I know most of you guys aren't really interested in it, but loved it. It's the end of the second story arc going into the third. Nobody trusts Darkwing after what Negaduck did to him. So, okay, now on to something I can talk about from Boom Studios. Soldier Zero number 4. The big throwdown happens here. And Soldier Zero goes up against Soldier 1, and it's a big fight, and they're still fighting. The Suit and Stu are still fighting over control, and yeah, it doesn't work. In the end, the Suit's like, if you're gonna kill him, kill him. If you're not, then I don't know. The Suit shuts his brain down for a time, and he's somehow break. There's something going on. I think they're actually teasing it here that. The Suit is able to do, the Suit actually says to him, I'm able to do a lot, you're able to do a lot more than I'm used to. And he's like, well, maybe I just have more heart than you're used to or whatever. Also, Stu's brother loses his arm.
Candy.
And that's kind of, And in the end, basically, the Suit, the Soldier 1 kills himself and disappears, and all that's left is the police officer, so it makes Soldier Zero look like the bad guy. To be continued. Loving this series. I love all 3 series that Stanley's bringing out so far. Once again, I'm not putting a place on any of them until after the first story arcs for each. I'm being honest though, they're all tied in. Anybody who knows Stanley knows that he ties in all his books. So all 3 books are taking place in the same universe at the same time. So I'm being honest with you. I don't be surprised if I don't put them all in first place. So anyway, let's get into Marvel Comics. Sorry, just leave that there. First off, something I thought Amber would be interested in. She's probably going to take it at some point. Oh, you want to see Legends, right? Oh, my bad. Kev, just hold those.
Okay.
Here you go.
Yep.
Wolverine and Jubilee, number 1. Okay, just leave those there.
Okay.
Jubilee is having trouble coping with the fact that she is now a vampire. And she hates, she knows everybody hates her. She has an attitude basically with everyone. She knows everybody's afraid of her. She knows that nobody trusts her, and Wolverine's like, you gotta let her out. And they let her out, and I'll tell you the truth, guys, I hate Emma Frost. I don't know why, but the more I'm reading X-Men and the more she's in, the more I just want to slap her. I just don't like her. I don't know why she's an X-Men. She should have just stayed with the X-Men First Class, or wherever the fuck she was. I hate Emma Frost, okay? I hate Emma Frost. Just can't help it. I just don't like her. As a person, her personality, everything, it does not belong with the X-Men. I don't know what Marvel is doing putting her with the X-Men, but whatever. Anyway, Jubilee finally gets out. They let her have some time out. You know, they're using Wolverine's blood to transfuse into her body, so this way it keeps the vampire feelings out and keeps her clear-headed. And she meets up with this blonde woman, and she tells her the X-Men are just trying to hinder you. You should be let free. And basically, she's like, fine. And basically, the Wolverine's letting Scott do things his way, and this is what happens when Scott gets his way.
Dead bodies.
Yeah. And she says she didn't do it, and we don't know if she did do it because it's to be continued. But I love the ending where Wolverine said, I knew this was a mistake. It's time to do things my way. To be continued. This is going to be an interesting miniseries. It's only 4 parts. I liked it. The artwork was great. It's mostly the story. The first part, at least, was about Jubilee. Very little about Wolverine. I think the next part is going to have a lot more with Wolverine involved. But it's really good. I think Wolverine's going to try to help Jubilee cope with the fact that she's a vampire now. And I think that's really cool. It's a nice miniseries. Speaking of Wolverine, a title I will not be dropping after reading this one. Wolverine #5. It just picked up all the past 4 pieces, all the 4 pieces of the shitty puzzle, and put it all together. And I like it. The artwork was, once again, it stayed the same. The artwork was good. The story just came all together. We all know that Wolverine beat the devil. He beat, Sabretooth tries to take over Hell. Wolverine stops him. Wolverine's father wants Wolverine to be the head of Hell, and basically their family will rule over Hell. In the end, Wolverine denies that. And he goes to leave Hell, and while in the regular world they catch Demon Wolverine and they attempt to bring Wolverine's soul back into his body, which in the end it does happen. Only problem was, with all the shit that happened to Wolverine in Hell, it kind of leaves a little impression on his mind, so he's a little bit fogged up. And basically they leave off with this. They leave you off with that. Yeah, so we're going to see what happens next. Also, as a second story or a little few page thing, they tell you how it all started. It turns out this guy has a thing out for Wolverine, and sending him to Hell, even though he knew it wasn't going to last, he said it's just an appetizer, something to get things started. There's a bigger picture or something more he has planned for Wolverine in the future. So I can't wait to see Wolverine gut that guy when he gets his head cleared out, because he has to clear his head. Awesome. I'm sticking around for Wolverine, which is more than I have to say for the other few titles that were released around the same time as Wolverine. Okay, now, finally for Marvel, big time, Amazing Spider-Man 652. We're going off to the next story arc. We're not in big time anymore. We all know from last week's second, the backup story, that Scorpion is now back as Scorpion. And J. Jonah Jameson's son is going into space again. And Horizon is overlooking the launch. And everything's going fine, everything's going good. Then all of a sudden, there's side stuff going on here and there. Nothing really big on the side story-wise. You know, Pete spending time with his girlfriend. Anyway, Pete all of a sudden gets a huge spider sense, like something really bad is going to happen. And it turns out Scorpion and his little bug friends show up. And they want to ruin J. Jonah Jameson's sons. They start the launch goes off already, and basically it's up to Spider-Man, who shows up to save them. This is new artwork. New artist takes over for this arc. The artwork in here was a lot better. I gotta admit, the artwork here, I took the board out with it, oh well. There we go. The artist that does Spider-Man is really, really good. I really enjoyed the whole art concept. Yeah, I want to try to get a nice full view. Here's a new Scorpion, by the way. Awesome. I absolutely would say this first part is awesome. Next week there's no Amazing Spider-Man. We all know it's only 2 a month now, so they leave you off of what I just let you see. And then there was a secondary story, a few pages of the Looter. It involves the Looter. It's about Spider-Man getting the key to the city way back. Remember when Captain America said he should get the key to the city? That's the secondary story. Wasn't really that good. They leave you up with the Looter question mark, so you're going to learn more about this Looter guy. And the next part for this second arc involves Spider-Man versus Scorpion, so I'm sticking around. I can't wait. Second story starting off to be really, really good. There was one funny part where Carly actually says, maybe we should hook Spider-Man and Mary Jane up. And when Pete heard that, that happened. Which led into that.
What happened?
I'll show you. Whack into the door. And with that, we conclude Marvel, and we're going to go off now to Amber, who is going to put down Legends now and do her books. I know, it's good, it's good. Leave it there and you go back to it.
Find out where are the page numbers.
There are no page numbers.
Okay, I'm on the page. Hi guys. Okay. I wish I could have done this before, but I'll have to do it now. I am reading The Dark Side of Dorothy.
That's kind of like the twisted
The
version
Legends.
of the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the series, Dorothy. It has no company, nothing. But they're good.
Leave it to Amber to like the twisted stuff.
How twisted is it?
Let's just say Dorothy is 16, she's drinking, she's running away, she's sparking a car so that she can drive,
Whoa.
and she drives right into the cyclone. Yeah, and then she jumps out of the car.
Well, why don't you show the covers? Did you show all the covers?
No.
Or did you show them one?
That's the first one, guys. Okay. Now she gets in there, into Oz, and she said her friends wouldn't believe it if she told them that she didn't like grass anymore.
Yeah, there's huge drug references.
Yeah,
I
a
get
lot
that.
of drug references.
Yeah.
Leave it to Amber also to find the most mature comic. These are old though. You can tell they're old.
2004.
Okay.
This is only 4 of the series. There's a lot more, apparently, because number 4 says to be continued.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not from any
But-
comic company I know, so it's probably.
There's no comic company.
Oh, here, no. It has its own website. No comic
Yeah.
company. No comic company. Some people do that.
DorothyofOz.com.
Yeah, some people make their own website up and publish
But,
their own comic.
How do I put this? Toto is a robot dog. The Scarecrow is seriously dumb and doesn't even know what a brain is. So he says it starts with a B. He says it starts with a B, and she said, "What, bullshit?" And he goes, "Yes, I want some bullshit."
Oh,
She's like, "Okay, I'm gonna leave you here."
Anyway, moving off of this.
Anyway, I really liked these. I still have one of them to finish reading, but from what I've read so far, it's very good. And I'm just going to show these because I haven't read them all.
Those came from the same comic company that she got me my Spawn from.
Yes. Elf Quest. 3 different series of the same thing. Okay, we have Elf Quest number 4, Elf Quest number 5, then we have Elf Quest number 18,
Damn.
then we have the Hidden Years Elf Quest number 5, okay, and number 6. Then we have Elf Quest Kings of the Broken Wheel number 7, and a completely different series called,
I don't know.
what is it? Elric. I will be reviewing them at a later date, because as I said, I haven't completely finished reading them. But from what I have seen, there are 4 different stories within the number 4, 5, and 18. And they only have like really old advertisements in between the 4 different stories.
I look forward to seeing that. Better than
Yeah.
this.
Oh, and by the way, guys,
Interesting.
there are no advertisements in this at all.
Well, of course there's no advertisers in that. That's not
No.
from a comic book company.
And it's still like this. Dark and twisted and no,
Yeah, but no offense.
Advertising.
No offense to whoever did Dorothy. I'm sorry, nothing can top Radical's legend.
Of
You
course
can't
not.
get any darker. And that was this
Of
guy.
course not.
First of all, like I said, Nick Percival drew, illustrated everything. He wrote
I know.
this. I want to know how a person has enough time to write a book, then draw it, then illustrate it, then color it, and do everything else.
I just found this hilarious. For the Percival tribe, Jake, Lily, Maddie, and Izzy. Yep, Dad is finally out of the studio. For my parents who would always let me buy insane amounts of comic books. And finally for Sarah. She sure knows why.
Oh, see, insane amount of comics. I love writing, guys. So you guys know I'm a huge fan of writing and
Anyway.
stuff like that. So
I'd say Dorothy is just another dark and twisted story. But so far what I've read in this, it's pretty good.
okay, so we're gonna let you continue reading Legends now, and I'm gonna conclude this week with DC Comics, which had moderate to okay to pretty alright this week. Okay, first off, not a jump on friendly comic. I got it because of the new the DC Comics covers right now, and also I want to see how good it's doing now that the price has gone down. I'm pretty interested. Justice League of America number 53. Don't buy this. Wait till next month when the next arc with Eclipso starts. This ends the Omega storyline, which I was completely lost in because you open the page and it's already, you're in the middle of the action. You don't know how it got that way. Basically, all I can tell you guys is Ultraman and the rest of the Crime Syndicate gets put back in their universe. get sent back to their universe, and that's basically the gist I can tell you. And there was some type of shield that was covering over the world that was taken down thanks to the Golden Gorilla. So, yeah. I have a lot to catch up on.
Well, 50-something issues.
No, I don't. I stopped at like 20-something.
Oh, okay.
But still, the only reason I dropped this was because Superman wasn't there, but I love the last picture, which gives that glimmer of hope that maybe the original will come back at some point. Oh, sorry.
Think you missed anything really that great, though?
No, not really. Yeah, Superman's in the background, but so is Superboy and everybody else, so you don't know. You're Justice League of America. And I do like this. One thing DC Comics is finally deciding to bring back is the mail page. The letter page is coming back soon. They're advertising that in all their books. They've been advertising that in all their books, so that's a good thing. I would say wait till the next arc. Don't get 53 unless you've been buying right along. Now, Brightest Day. Brightest Day number 18, which was another. This one was wow. I mean, okay, I hated Hawkman and Hawkgirl. I hated their story. Something awful. And their story concluded here. They defeated Hawkgirl's mom, who was possessed by the Predator. And she basically, this is the creepy part, she got taken in or eaten or whatever by all of the past Hawkman and Hawkgirl bones. They just completely, I don't know what they did to her, but she's gone. And basically they got a big mission complete. I love this. Whenever they have a mission complete, whenever the White Lanterns, or the people that were brought back have a mission complete, they turn into their White Lantern selves for 2 seconds and it says mission complete. And yeah. And like I was saying, the power battery is still going up for the White Lantern. So Hawkman and Hawkgirl return home and they're ready to, you know, have cordial affairs. And Deadman shows up, and it's not his fault. The Ring sends him there. And basically the Ring says the world is better with you guys apart. You're stronger apart than you are together. And basically they deny that. They don't want that. And basically they get turned to dust. Both of them. So apparently Hawkman and Hawkgirl gained their life back just to lose it again. At least for now. I mean, you never know. They might come back.
Yeah.
You can't kill Hawkman forever. I'm sorry. Hawkman's part of the JSA and everything else. Hawkman will be back at least. I don't know about Hawkgirl. That was messed up, but it was so messed up that it was good. That was a very messed up thing to do to Hawkman and Hawkgirl, but it was so bad. Like, it made the White Lantern ring look so badass that it's like the white light's supposed to be good, but it's turning around and doing all this other screwed up, messed up shit. I can't wait to see what the White Lantern is, but I'm telling you guys the truth. Like I said, stretching it out. 24 is the last issue for Brightest Day. April is the conclusion to Brightest Day. And,
you have time.
You're telling me. But, that was messed up what they did to Hawkman and Hawkgirl, but it was pretty cool at the same time, because you don't know what's going to happen next for the two characters now. But they got their life back. If they happen to make it past Brightest Day. Anyway, Supergirl number 60. Introducing a new villain, or a new somebody, somewhere. What's the matter?
You don't let me read the ones I want to read before the review.
Sorry. Anyway, this guy has a, how do I say, like a webcast thing, where it's called, such a dumb webcast name also, I'm probably going to remember. Flyover or whatever. And basically whenever somebody sees a superhero, they log it in. And it's like you get points, and the more points you get, whatever. It's like a web thing.
Like
and it turns out, it's sort of like a blog, yeah. And it turns out we have 4 supervillains that are very interested in the flyover tab. And when they see where Supergirl is, they teleport to her location. Okay, and with that, Mike's giving me the finger. We're at 29, I'm guessing. And I don't want to have this end in the middle, so we'll be right back with part 2. I knew we were going to hit part 2 somehow. See you guys in the next part.